explanation before addressing a question without notice to the Minister for Primary Industries and Regional Development on funding for SA research for the SA Research and Development Institute.
Is leave granted? Leave is granted. The Honourable Mr Sims.
Budget papers handed down in June show that the state government has this year allocated just $12.3 million in net cost of sub-program funding for SARDI. Prior budget papers show SARDI's net cost of sub-program funding contributions have reduced since the early 2010s, when successive budgets allocated more than $30 million. Indeed, I understand this year's allocation of just $12.3 million is the lowest allocation made to SARDI in 15 years. Is the Minister concerned that cuts to SARDI have reduced the capacity of the organisation to respond to the algal bloom? And will the government commit to restoring the funding that has been cut from SARDI so that it can do its vital work?
Minister for Primary Industries and Regional Development.
Thank you, Mr President. I thank the honourable member for his question. I would want to look specifically at the lines that he's referred to, but what I can say more broadly is that we have been very supportive of the funding for SARDI, and what is often not well understood is the way that SARDI gains its funding often is from co-funding and from project-based funding. So, for example, there's been a number of projects where SARDI has been provided funding from the government, from the state government, which they've been able to leverage with tertiary institutions, with private organisations and so on. So there's been that opportunity, and that, of course, does change from year to year. There's been also the opportunity, I think, to continue to enable SARDI to be able to leverage those opportunities. There's a lot of expertise in SARDI which is well recognised around the country and indeed around the world. And so there are often opportunities for those co-funding projects.
Supplementary question arising from the arts of the Honourable Mr Sims.
Is slashing funding from $33 million in 2010 to just $12.3 million in 2025 the way the government demonstrates its support for an organisation? And what does it do to organisations it doesn't value?
Honourable Minister.
Yeah, I don't accept the basis of the question. As I mentioned, I would need to look particularly at the line that he's referring to. But certainly since we came to government 3.5 years ago, we have been very conscious of maintaining the funding to SARDI.
Okay. The Honourable Ms Franks.